to the printing house Swarm. Oh, it's I guess around 8, maybe, I don't know. It's been a while, over the last 6-7 months.
Every single time we're less stressed on stage.
Well, you are. I wouldn't say that about myself, but but okay. So to give you a brief an agenda of what's going to happen tonight is that we have a very special guest for you tonight. We'll interview him, and we decided this time to divide the interview into three parts, based on topics or themes. And if you have any questions, then just don't feel shy, and we'll try to make a little break in between those topics so that you can ask your questions. So yeah, just think of questions that you would like to ask about a certain topic. We'll talk about the history, about entrepreneurship. We'll talk about investing, and we also talk a little bit about the future, about what is ahead of us. Am I making any sense?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Perfect.
Okay. Another thing is that we'd like to thank our sponsors. We have 3 tonight. One is Kevin Green, who's sponsoring the free drinks. I don't know if we've run out of the free drinks, but Kevin Green couldn't be here because he's traveling. But I think he's been it's the second time he's been doing it, and he's just very enthusiastic about entrepreneurships and startups, and that's why he's doing it. Another of our sponsors is Fundacja Nowe Technologie from Tarnów, who are sponsoring the technical side of today's event. We would like to thank them. Where are you? Oh, okay. Can you stand up? Yes. Thank you so much for supporting our initiative and our event. And also our sponsor tonight is Krakowski Park Technologiczny, which probably all of you have heard of already. We will also have a presentation later on after the interview about the Małopolska Information Technology Park. So that's basically the what's going to happen, and then we'll also have some announcements later on. So we already have a list of announcements to make, and there are some people in the audience that would like to make an announcement. But if there's something that you would like to share, like that Hive sucks or Hive is cool, then.
Or if you're starting a business, yay!
Hey, cool, thank you.
So if you're starting a business, need some people to join the team, need advice, anything, you can just say, hey, I'm building this, and I need this and this. So this is the stage. So you probably all know who the today's guest is. It's Piotr Wilam. Do you want to join us? He's been hiding here. And I think we'll just casually sit down so that we don't.
I think we all know Piotr from the fact that he was the first president of ONET and one of the founders, and we've also heard, or most of us have already read about him starting Innovation Nest. But I think, at least from my perspective, I'm really glad and happy to have him here tonight. He was, I think, like a month and a half ago, there was a startup weekend here in Krakow. He was one of the judges, and he was definitely the most active one. And all of the participants I've talked to spoke very, very highly of his mentorship. So
yeah, and we used Piotr's advice a lot personally, and regarding Hive, regarding whatever we're doing. So he's a really good person to talk to because he listens, he takes things in, and he gives great feedback.
Thank you very much, and welcome everybody.
Okay, so let's start. Everybody knows what ONET is. Everybody knows what Wydawnictwo Pascal is. So the publishing part, like the great guides, and not only that. And one might think, how did it all start? Like, you started your first business relatively young, right? And how did it happen? And yeah, I guess the story is quite interesting, right?
Well, the story is quite simple. I finished my degree and I went for a scholarship to the United Kingdom. And after first year, I was back at home, and a friend of mine called me and he said, well, there is an opportunity. Would you like to start it with me? And I said, no, I don't really like it. And it was 10 minutes discussion, and he convinced me that it will be fun and that I will earn lots of money in 2 months. And I agreed.
That usually works in terms of motivation.
Yeah, so it was the basic motivation in the very beginning to have a passionate project, to do something that is interesting. And at that moment, I wanted to earn money to be able to study abroad, and it was the solution to do some business and to earn this money.
So you weren't really planning on planning or becoming a businessman, were you? It was just
absolutely not. Absolutely not. I had planned my career. I wanted to be a philosopher. I finished a degree in philosophy, and then I started to study mathematics because I wanted to focus on the philosophy of science. And then there was this, holiday adventure, and it turned to be my career.
And how old were you? Do you mind sharing?
I was 24. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So basically, I guess your career in business is basically as long as our because I think it was right at the time of the transformation, right? Or
yes,
almost.
It was right. Yes, it was just after. It was in 1990. Yeah.
Okay, so what was the first opportunity then? What was the opportunity? How was that presented?
Well, because it was a prehistory, what I'm telling about. It is before the actual business started, and it was a proposal that we should import some goods from abroad and sell them. So earn money quickly. It was really.
Okay, what goods? What did you import?
Well, we imported a big lorry of copybooks, of bright, colorful, very glossy copybooks for school children, and then we started to import to buy books, and also we were the first who sold the lyrics and the music of Rolling Stones and all other rock bands.
And how did you finance that? Because did you have an investor?
There are many.
I mean, we were looking to the market, and we started to sniff what is really needed. Where is the demand? It was that simple. And we had no bloody idea about business, about anything.
Yeah, but it does take some cash to, get a lorry of notebooks.
Mm-hmm.
Are you allowed to say that?
Yeah, a friend of mine who I started the business with, and then we started Pascal, and then we got involved in Onet, Tomek Kolbusz, and he was my friend from secondary school. He was working in London at the construction site for 2 years. And he had some cash, and I had to borrow some from my family and friends, and it was like that.
And so, moving on, how did Pascal came about?
Then after a couple of months and after some money earned, we realized that it was just an adventure, that it's not something to be continued. And we wanted to build something that is more our own product. And we were looking at several opportunities, and traveling, it was a passion of ours, and we realized it would be really nice to publish such guides as Lonely Planet in Polish. And also, it's not only that it was a pleasure for us, but also we saw that there is a need in the market, and that there is opportunity, that much more Poles will be going abroad, and they will need a practical guide. They will need a guide not only to do sightseeing, but also to get advised where to sleep basically cheaply and where to eat cheaply. So and it is one of the features of Lonely Planet.
So after the first business that you started, the notebook business, the copybook business, did you know that you would just be an entrepreneur forever? Did you know?
Absolutely,
no?
Absolutely.
There was no wow moment at that time. Absolutely yes, or absolutely no?
Absolutely no.
Okay,
I mean,
no.
what we knew was that it was fun, that it was really excitement. There was an adrenaline in it. So we liked doing it, but no way that we planned a career like that.
What didn't you like about it in the early days? Was it stressful? Was there anything bad about it, or was just pure enthusiasm and fun? For us to imagine the.
I mean, the most important was this excitement, and when you started to create things, to change reality, to do new things, you had such an energy and power that nothing else mattered. It was just like that for about. It was like that for the first month when after we started Pascal, and then there was and then we learned some lessons. The first was that we wanted to publish 4 books like that in 3 to 4 weeks. It was our plan. To translate them, we didn't know that you have to do any DTP with this. We just thought that there will be a translator, and then there is a printer.
What is it? What does it mean?
Desktop publishing. What?
DTP.
DTP, desktop publishing. I mean that you have to edit it. So we knew nothing about publishing. We had a very good strategic direction. So there was a real need. People really wanted and needed such type of guide. So it was good. But we had absolutely no clue how to publish books. And we planned to publish 4 volumes in a couple of weeks, and then the reality, taught us a few lessons. So it was after a couple of months we had the first title ready to go to the printer, and guess what title was it? It was Yugoslavia, because there was such country at that time, and it was a very popular destination for Polish people, and we sent it to the printer, and the same day the war at Yugoslavia broke. So if we sent it 4 days earlier, we would go bust. I mean, we had to pay for printing of this, and I would not be any entrepreneur. Fortunately,
you would have become a philosopher.
Yeah, absolutely. So we were really lucky that it wasn't printed. So we cancelled printing, obviously, and then it was another couple of months, and after all, in September, instead of 4 books like that, we published 1 book like that. But we did it, yeah. Finally, we did it after 9 months.
It's interesting to hear, like, all the months. Like, it must have taken a lot of energy to keep it going. I mean, it does sound like the plan was totally different, and then long months of.
I mean, it was a bit crazy because we didn't know anything about it. We had a very good goal, so it was okay. and we both were students at that time. I studied at Oxford, UK, and my friend studied here in Krakow. The company was in Bielsko-Biała. So my friend was every week back at home. I was every couple of weeks back at home. But we were fortunate that we hired one person who is my wife now, and she really did all this editing work and all this the work with translators and so on and so on.
Yeah.
And what the
Lucky first employee.
yeah, so the first book that you actually published, was it like an overnight success all of a sudden, or and one more thing is like, because you're saying that you had a good strategic direction, and how did you know that? Because I mean, I guess there weren't other examples of people doing similar things. I mean, you can talk to people, but not necessarily know that, yes, people will actually pay money for guides.
I mean, answering the second question, looking at this after some time, then we wanted to publish travel guides that are different from what was available in the market. And this differentiator was that they are practical, and that they are for people who really like independent traveling. And we were very consistent about it. It was really important for us, and there was really such a need in the market. So it is why I'm saying that it was a good strategic direction, and at that time nobody did it in such a way.
So before we move on to Onet and kind of the world of digital media, what did your friends and family at the time, you being 24, did they think it's going to be a serious business, or did they think it's kind of a harmless hobby of yours? Do you remember the kind of did people actually consider it, to be something that would become a serious business? Or I mean, it might not.
It's hard to. I mean, it was a very special time in Poland. I mean, it was a time of transformation. So there were, I mean, the completely different way to run the country, how the economy works, how the society works. It was all very flexible. And I guess nobody thought in long-term perspective. It was all changing.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess and how, okay. So you started publishing books, and can you tell us about? I mean, because we're at the point where you started doing this, and did it go? Well, right from the beginning, and then you started thinking about other media, or?
I mean, with Pascal, it was after the first excitement. It was a long period of hard work, and we were and we.
You mean months, years, weeks?
It was year and a half. It was year and a half, and we had to. We spent all the money we earned before with this, copybook business. We had to borrow lots of money, but we were persistent. We believed that such a product is really needed. And we were learning. So we really looked. We learned how it is, and then it was after a year and a half so we had a serious crisis during this period. And when the second season started, and then we had a couple of titles. And huge debts, and then we really started to see that it's taking off. That these books are selling, and that the feedback from the readers that we got was very very enthusiastic. And then we knew that we are on the right track.
what brought you to essentially co-found Onet, so one of the biggest Polish digital media platforms?
I mean, after a couple of years, we all, I mean, a friend of mine and me, we finished our degrees. We were in the company, and we saw that we wanted to develop more. We wanted to expand. And then we saw that digital media, it's the direction. And the first idea was that we want to publish books in digital form, and to publish books, to publish content in digital form. So it was the first idea, and we started to think how to do it. We started to talk with Optimus, that was a very important technological company in Poland at that time. It was the first private company that was on the Warsaw Stock Exchange. It was in WIG20, one of the companies. So we approached them, and we proposed them that we can publish digital content for their computers. Well, we didn't have any digital content at that time, but they started to talk with us. They wanted to buy Pascal. We didn't agree, but we founded together a company that was to publish educational digital content, basically software on CD-ROMs that was for children and young people. With educational stuff, so it was not games, but it was more edutainment, educational stuff, and it is how it started, and it was 96, and we didn't believe in internet at that time. I mean, yeah, the quality of network. I mean, it was really slow. And we wanted to have quality, and with desktop computers you could have it. And after a year we changed our mind, and we started to lobby Optimus to make a merger of 3 entities, of Pascal Publisher, of this digital content publishing company that we had with Optimus, and Optimus had the internet department here in Krakow within Optimus, and we convinced them to merge all these 3 and to invest in this company, and to make my friend and me the management board of this company. And
how old were you again? Like 27?
I was 32.
Oh, okay.
I was 32 at that time. It was 98. Yeah. So we got about $3 million on the account to develop internet in Poland. And we made several important strategic decisions, but the main one, the main one was that we want to build a horizontal portal, such as Yahoo.com.
So would you say that was a copycat? Like, because when you say that you didn't believe in internet, like the way I see it, it might have been that you like, did you kind of realize that what you're going to create or what you're participating in from?
I mean, we believed that there is a place in the internet, a central place, a central hub, that is a platform that lots of content is available, and that is the opening gate for anybody browsing internet. We believed in this, and the company that did the same was Yahoo.com. So yes, we looked at them for everything what they were doing, But we were not building copycat of Yahoo. We were building horizontal portal in Poland, and we made several solutions similar to them, and quite a lot were quite different. It simply depends on the local market.
Okay, and do you? I think the story behind the name is interesting. As like, do you know what the name on it comes from? Is it that?
I mean, originally it was Optimus.net, and then one
very innovative, good naming decision. You know, you have Optimus and internet.
And there was one admin in Onet, Zizio, and he wrote, but it was before we were the board of Onet. The name was registered before we were in the company, and he wrote to his director, well, I would like to register the domain onet.pl because it is too long. Optimus.net is too long for admins, so
it's too much typing.
Too much typing, and it was the original, yeah.
So
Go ahead.
So
So how did it go afterwards? How long were you in on it? And because at that time, at least I remember that there were other competitors, there were other people trying to do the similar thing in Poland. Right?
I mean, when we started in Onet at '98, and there were two companies. There was Wirtualna Polska, and there was Onet. And we started a real competitive struggle. I mean, it was a really fierce competition between Wirtualna and us. And by the way, when we make this decision in Optimus, the first thing I did, I went to Gdańsk and I proposed Wirtualna that we will buy them. And they didn't agree, and after because they didn't believe that it was an honest proposal, and after that, 4 years after, when Maciek Grabski had problems with TPSA, he was coming to me saying, "Why didn't we agree to this proposal?" But so there was such stories in it. So we we started a competition between Wirtualna and us. And it was very good for the market. So we knew that the users have the option, and there were several we knew that we want to create only very good services, because otherwise there is it's not sensible, because otherwise there is other opportunity. And both companies really in short period of time they became very I mean they had lots of content, and it was a fierce struggle, and we were better. And in this first year and a half, it was clear that we won this battle, and it's still today. I mean, this difference after 10 years' time, it's still the same. Portals at that time were extremely important. I mean, it was at one point of time there were some data showing that Onet had almost 50% of all traffic in Polish internet. So it was.
I guess that was even before the search engines came in, right? Because people would just go to Onet.
Yeah, there were always search engines.
Yeah, but nobody was using them, or they were English.
Yeah.
So, the company is growing. You feel you hit the sweet spot, and suddenly there is the bubble, right? And the burst of the bubble. So, how did it feel within the company that still at the young age? How many people was on it at the time?
I mean, we started in this team that there were 15 people. After 2.5 years, there was 250 people. So it was a huge expansion. And who of you remember the bubble? Is there anybody of the, yeah, okay. So a few people remember that. I mean, we were in a lucky position that we had a business before, and we were with Tomek, we were creating a real business. We didn't create it just a virtual business, but we knew that at the end there must be revenues to make this working. But obviously, when the first person came and told us that we are changing the whole world, we didn't believe. But when all the banks, the biggest investment banks, started to call us, and we were choosing between them, we chose Goldman Sachs because it was really a reputable institution at that time, because now it has changed again. And they were telling us that we are creating the new economy and we are changing the world. I started to believe them, and I believe in it also today. So it was at that time. So the bubble was very difficult because we had to make the team smaller. And
so how many people from the 250? How many people did you have to kind of let go?
I mean, it was at the time that ITI group bought the Optimus and bought and Onet from Roman Kluska. So there was a change of the owner, and we had a tough discussion with them, and it was about 80 people that we had to fire, and it was amazing. It was really amazing experience because I mean we were negotiating this what should be our costs and what we can do. Finally, we had this number, and we did it in one day, and after that there was a party and everybody was invited. This who stayed in the company and this who had to leave the company, and it was amazing experience. All this these emotions that were connected with that.
But not, that's not the kind of most intuitive term to describe group firing in a company. Was it?
I mean,
there was.
I mean, we were a really good team, so it was really possible to make such parties. Yeah.
The party, yeah, but the day after is the hangover, and then you kind of No, it like.
I mean, it was.
It wasn't.
I mean, we needed it to express all the emotions. I mean, the reality was like that, and then it's gone, and then it's.
So you say it was not as bad as you would expect it to be, or was people like everybody understood that it was a bubble?
I think that most people understood what happened. That it was there was no other way, and that it was. This who went to other companies, they knew that there was very intensive and very interesting year or 2 years or 3 years, depending how long they were in the company, and that the world changed, and they have to go other direction.
Okay. So can you tell us a little bit about how it came about that you left Onet? Like, because this was up until this point you were an entrepreneur, a businessman, or you are still a businessman, but you were an entrepreneur, and I guess later on you became something else.
I mean, after ITI became the owner of Optimus, and after we started to talk with them about selling our shares to them, then I realized that it was bought by a corporation and there is no place for myself. That's it.
Okay. And
I left, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we went through the whole, the first chapter of your entrepreneurial story. So there are more chapters, but does any of you have any questions that you would like to ask Piotr? Like, yeah, there's one.
Go ahead.
Do you want a mic?
We can also repeat the question.
If I have a bad day at work, I go home and read Epicurus to console myself. What philosophers should a startup founder be reading?
Don't read Nietzsche.
I mean, man, you shouldn't read philosophers. You should think what your goal is and what your milestones are. That's it. I mean.
Okay. So no philosophy. But. Okay.
I mean, the very funny was this first title that Pascal publisher had. So we wanted to publish Yugoslavia, as I told you,
That's
France.
pretty funny.
No, it's France, Italy, and we also wanted to publish Scandinavia because there were many people going to Sweden and to Norway at that time. And the first country in this volume, Scandinavia, was Denmark, and we started to translate it from the very beginning. So we started with Denmark, and then we realized that we don't need to publish the whole Scandinavia; that we can publish what we have translated and edited, what is ready, and it was Denmark. So the first book that travel guide publisher Pascal published was a guide to Denmark. Can you imagine about more attractive holiday destination than Denmark? Yeah.
I must say I quite like Denmark, but it's but it's a pretty small country. Any more questions?
The question was if Piotr anticipated what would happen in those 15 years in terms of the technology development.
I mean, before we started to develop on it, we realized a bit. We realized that there will be lots of users of internet, that there will be that there is a place for such a hub, and if there is a traffic, there will be advertisement revenues. So it was quite basic. After 1 year, looking at all the possibilities that technology is building, we knew a lot. We knew a lot because you just start thinking what will be possible with such technology, and I will give you. I mean, we had such approach. That wasn't our original, but we adopted it, that there is a place in the internet for 5 types of businesses. Content, 5 C's. Content, context, meaning search engines, databases, commerce, communication, so all communication tools, and community. So we realized that there is a huge space for community. We started to build Republika. It was republika.pl, and it was a place where you could have your own website and the tools to communicate between the users. So basically at that time we knew that Facebook was possible. and not only we, anybody who looked what are the implications of technology, so somehow it was obvious. So before, no, it was just the big conviction that we were convinced that there is a place for internet portal. After work in Onet, we realized a lot. Yeah.
So what amazed you? Like, what was something that like you would not have predicted?
I mean, a website that I still cannot understand. I cannot understand how was it possible is Wikipedia. I mean, it is something amazing that people work for free and edit really valuable content that is the largest resource of knowledge available. It is really amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Any more questions?
Any more raised hands? Yes, there is one.
Go ahead.
We'd have to
Why do you started studying philosophy? What you wanted to be filthy rich or something, or you wanted to be wise guy?
So the question was about why Piotr started studying philosophy, where he went into philosophy.
Yes, I wanted to be a wise guy. And somehow at that time I was really convinced by the power of rational thinking. So I studied basically two most abstract disciplines. It is philosophy and mathematics, and it was not accident. And I really liked it. And it was business that taught me something different. That people have emotions, that people work in groups, that there are relations between people, and that you may make a difference in the world. That you may influence the things. You can build something, change the reality. And it was all that I learned in business, but originally it was rational thinking, being a wise man, and doing anything but practical. Anything but practical.
There was one more question here. Yeah. I'll just quickly repeat it for those who didn't hear. So the question is how, running the business is tough, and how is it possible to maintain good, healthy relationships with people, also basing on the example of Piotr's wife, that actually might...
I mean, the answer is, after all, quite simple. That there must be a vision that is attractive, a goal for the whole team that is attractive. And the second thing, you have to be honest. I mean, the work have to be done. I mean, there is no other way. So startup is not a group of people that are always nice to each other, but they have to do some. They have to do things. So it is quite tough, but there must be this vision, this goal, and there must be honesty. I mean, people have to see that you have no other, not that you have that you are for real, that you really have challenges as a leader, and you have to go forward, and that you are a team and going to achieve something.